What's up, everybody? It's Taylor Twellman from Major League Soccer and Apple TV. Matchday 12 was filled with some of the more ridiculous goals you will ever see. 33 goals on Saturday night, and some of them were bangers. Started in the nation's capital, DC United up 2-0. Jack McGlynn says, hang on a minute, it's 2-2. How about Tomas Chancalay, a left-footed game-winner stunner to give Caleb Porter only a second win for the New England Revolution in Chicago. Rojas, an immediate impact coming off the bench for Miami, and then this stunning strike. And Bernardeschi reminds everyone that he has a wand of a left foot when he's in form. But also don't forget, we also had 2 hat tricks. Sam Surge helps Nashville get their first win in their last 6 games. Luis Suarez helps Miami in the second half surge with 3 goals in 45 minutes to give them their 4th win in a row. But none of that compares to the GOAT. Twellman's takes. Let's go. 5 assists in 1 game. Never happened before. 6 goal contributions in 1 game. Never happened before. And Messi did all of that in just 45 minutes. Actually, if we're being completely specific, it was a little less than 40 minutes. But how about the 3rd goal from Miami? One of the best passes you will ever see. And that's so ironic to me, considering last year against the Red Bulls at Red Bull Arena, he had one of the best passes I've ever seen. What is it with the New York Red Bulls and Messi? In the span of 8 months, 2 of the best passes you will ever see in the professional game around the world. Now go back to the game though. Tata Martino got it all wrong with the tactical setup in the midfield. They're down 1-0 at half. And yet, he fixes it. Rojas for Ruiz, and Rojas was a lightning bolt of energy for Miami. And then all of a sudden, what's more remarkable to me is not the fact that Miami scored 6 goals, it's how quickly the New York Red Bulls folded. You would have thought they were a man down with the spacing and the time that the Miami players had, and nobody, including myself, thought they would get destroyed like this. They won 4-0 against Miami a little more than a month ago. Oh yeah, we forgot. Messi didn't play. 10 goals, 12 assists to lead all of Major League Soccer in both categories, and he's missed 4 games. Those are video game numbers in real life. He's a cheat code. He's 36. And I don't need all you knuckleheads to remind me about Suarez. I've noticed. 10 goals in 11 MLS games played. Remember, I asked if he'd score 15 on the year. I was way off. Who's been the biggest surprise for the better through 11 games or so? I'm going to give you 4 cases. You tell me who. Start with Real Salt Lake. Second in the Supporters' Shield race, behind Miami, who they lost to on opening day. They're unbeaten in their last 7, winning 5 of those games, only giving up 5 goals in doing so. And you couple that with the game changer in Arango, they've scored 18 goals on the year. He's contributed to 16 of them. Now stay in the West. Minnesota United. Are you serious right now? 2 points per game, tied for the most in the league with Inter Miami, and you have 2 games in hand. Now the late game heroics got them off to a great start, but when you in 4 of 5 away from home, you were doing something right. Now, new manager Eric Ramsey did not know that the Wonderwall would follow them everywhere the way they have. Also, nothing better when a team plays better when their best player says, I don't want to come. Hi, Reynoso. How you doing, buddy? Go to the East. Charlotte FC, they needed to desperately take advantage of their home support. And when new coach Dean Smith took over, he told me, quote, get the points we must get, and those have to be at home. 6 wins in all of 2023 at home, and already they have 4. Home cooking is good in the Queen City. And finally, Toronto really has 19 points? They have 19 points, and they lost 3 in a row about a month ago. But John Herdman has players popping up in spots that they haven't had before. And this week, they also got Bernardeschi as goals. Insigne close to return. Could they actually make a number 1 seed in the East type of run? I think they could. And if you're asking for my vote, Minnesota United. Now, 14 of the last 15 seasons in Major League Soccer, they have made the playoffs. And the only time they didn't, the Seattle Sounders won the CONCACAF Champions League. But I'm not sure I've ever been to Seattle. And I've started going there and broadcasting in 2011 for ESPN and seeing a more anemic, lifeless performance at home for the Sounders. I've also never been there and been underwhelmed by the atmosphere and the fans. Something is amiss in Seattle, and Brian Schmetzer knows it. I'm not saying there weren't glimpses of good play, because there was. But if you watch the entire 90 minutes on Sunday, versus the Galaxy, there is no way you can be 100% convinced that this Seattle team is going to make a run. And then you couple that with the 50-year anniversary in Seattle, and yet none of it feels like a celebration. The fans want more. They want to be excited again. And my question is this: can they find that before the summer window? Or will it be too late? For anyone that has followed my every move and thought over the past 8 or 9 months, you're not going to be surprised. I have fallen in love with the way Wilfried Nancy goes about his business. And I promise you it has nothing to do with him being a degenerate golfer like me. But seriously, he's willing to risk it all. He's seen and believes in what he's doing. And he's bold in his decision making. Zelarayan, gone. Rossi, in. Chicho reprimanded longer than anyone else thought he should be. But he doesn't care. Now he's rolling. Using the Columbus Crew 2 players in some of the bigger moments, maybe too soon for others like myself, but not him. Since the League's Cup last summer, the Crew team is on one of the best stretches in league history. They won MLS Cup last December after beating Supporter Shield winners FC Cincinnati in their place, down 2-0, which in turn booked their place in this CONCACAF Champions Cup, where they just beat Monterrey. Monterrey's first loss to an MLS franchise in a two-legged series. Now, the Columbus Crew are now the 7th team to play in the final, with only the Seattle Sounders having won it in the modern era. But the most enjoyable part of me being a neutral and doing my job is listening to quotes like this. Nancy said, quote, "We respect the opposition. We try to adjust certain things. But at the end of the day, we play our football." End quote. Tigres, Monterrey, and now Pachuca. All three formidable opponents and ones that are not used to an MLS side that dictates the game in the manner that Columbus does. Now, it's crazy to think Columbus are winless in their last 6 games, but they only have 1 loss on the season. And they welcome their FC Cincinnati rival for revenge Saturday night on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, where MLS Countdown gets you started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the Hell is Real Derby is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern to follow. Also this week on Offside, we dive into those MLS rivalries, some old, some new, and how the new players experience them when coming into this league.